asked God, I said, Lord, how do I know the difference between your voice, the world's voice, and my own voice, right? When God speaks firm. God speaks with authority. Thank you, Holy Spirit. When God speaks, it is very authoritative, right? So let's think about the enemy or the world or yourself. A lot of times when you hear thoughts from the enemy is trying to persuade you. So that's why it's constant, like, people overthink. The enemy will have you overthinking yourself into doing something that he wants you to do. So the enemy is persuasive. He don't speak with authority. He don't speak like, he don't have no authority. So his voice is persuasive, okay? Your own voice is constant. Your own voice is complaining. Your own voice is figuring it out. Like you're trying to figure things out. That's how your own voice sounds in your head. Like, even if you don't verbally complain out loud, or even if you don't verbally verbally try to figure things out, your own voice is constantly thinking about the next step. Okay? So the enemy's voice, persuasive. Your own voice is constantly thinking, constantly moving, constant, okay? God's voice is firm and authoritative, okay? When God speaks to you, he speaks with authority. He's not asking you a question. He's not trying to persuade you of something. When he speaks, it just is. So when what he said, that's the biggest way for you to recognize God's voice. Where does it hold authority? Right? Does the voice of God, does the voice that you're hearing hold power? Or is it constant, like constantly thinking, constantly trying to figure things out? Or is it persuasive? Okay? Because that's how the enemy is able to manipulate a lot of people, because by persuasion. So that is the biggest way for you to know the difference between your voice, the enemy's voice, and God's voice. And know how to heed his voice. And be obedient to his voice. Okay? And God's voice come in many different ways and aspects. Sometimes it's still and small. I've heard God's voice still, small, firm. It's always the same, firm and authoritative. It doesn't change in that way. You may hear it louder, more audibly, or you may hear it still or small, or you may just simply hear it in your spirit. And if you understand what I mean when I say that, you sometimes hear things in your spirit. But you will still have the same, it will still have the same firmness and authority and power in it. Okay? So, that's how you can recognize God's voice. And God is just saying that your obedience in this season, y'all, your obedience to his voice quickly is going to open the doors for your life. It's going to, that is a key to opening the doors in your life in this season, okay? The doors of blessing, the doors of overflow, the doors of increase, okay? In every aspect and area of your life, every aspect and area, okay?